Surprise visit from Naoto. Let's see what happens next.
Rise-san!
Look out!
I see something glimmer in front of me. At least I won't have to worry about getting a headache since I'm not doing Teddy's voice. Acting purely on instinct, I duck instantly. A low whizzing sound passes above my head. What was that? Something get thrown my way?
Naoto-kun!
Rise-san turns towards me. Look at her from across the room. She's crouched down next to something on the ground. On closer inspection, the red and white lump she's near is Teddy. Oh, it's General Teddy. I see General Teddy in the back of the room, so the one with Rise-san has to be the real one. Okay, so the actual Teddy is already here. I'm here! Yeah, I'm not doing that voice while I'm not reading for him, because that gave me a headache. How did I manage to do that for 3 hours when I was doing Danganronpa? The girl's standing between Teddy and the General. I haven't seen her before, but looking at her mechanical body, I can tell who she is. It's Labrys. Obviously, Naoto and the Kirijo Group would already be on top of this stuff.
What should we do? That girl wasn't normal. She wasn't even human. I know it sounds hard to believe, but she's a robot or something. She defeated Teddy and,
Calm down.
Something else.
Are you talking about Labrys?
Though Rise-san is quite shaken, she's still not.
The riddle is solved then. You're not the real Teddy. You're only a shadow taking his form. The shadow of Labrys here, to be precise.
Makes a lot more sense.
No wonder they call you the Detective Prince now, Chan. You cracked the case. But even if you figured it out, there's still nothing you can do.
I carefully watched General Teddy as he scoffs. Whatever it was he threw at me. I was too busy dodging to see it clearly, but it must be dangerous. I'm sure he won't hurt his owner until he hears a certain phrase from her, but he has no reason to be gentle with the rest of us. Point my gun at him, ready for any more of his attacks. However, next attack comes from a direction I had not been expecting.
What?
The droning sounds come from a giant axe flying at me. Yep. I had a feeling, since we already know who Labrys is, it would appear that she would become violent, trying to hide her past. So, yep, Labrys. Next is bigger than I am, spinning through the air towards me. Like a boomerang, it turns back and turns towards the hand of its wielder. The rest is behind the blade, following the axe to fly it spins. It wasn't General Teddy attacking me. It was Labrys, not the shadow, but the real one. What's going on? Wait, she attacked me the first time too? So was it Labrys that threw something at you, not Teddy? That would explain why Rise-san is so shaken up. But the shadow's right in front of her. Why is she going after me?
It's not true. I'm human.
Yep, denial.
This is all just a bad dream. I gotta destroy everything.
I'm human.
I can't find any meaning in what she's saying. I want to convince her to stop, but I can't come up with the right words to do so. Labrys takes a fighting stance, not wasting a moment. Looks like the only way to bring Labrys back to normal is to fight her. The doors keep opening.
Rise-san, please stay back.
Naoto-kun?
I never really expect to be able to convince her in the first place with the shadow here. I bite the bullet.
I will stop
And she's
her,
about to eat mine.
No matter what.
I'll bite the bullet so you can bite mine. Here we go. Naoto versus Labrys.
Finally! Fight!
There! There! Assault! There you are! Okay. There! Assault! Okay. Persona! There! Assault! Okay.
I don't really remember how to do
There! Okay. Sorry, but I see you. There! Assault! Continuing! I missed. Assault! Okay. No! There! I missed hit!
I don't remember how to do the Hama and Mudo. I don't actually remember how to do the Hama and Mudo.
Aw, she beat you fair and square. You really are useless, Labby-chan.
After Labrys clapped,
The whole
Alex
reason for
herself.
being is to fight. And you can't even do that. You're not worth a damn. You don't need to exist anymore.
Shadow's voice and speech pattern begins to slip away from its impersonation of Teddy. No, that's not all. Fake Teddy's appearance begins to warp as well. Finally, the time has come for it to reveal its true self. You know this scene all too well. Inky bubble. Yep. The form that it takes is, as I thought, Labrys.
I am a shadow. The true self. That's my face. Oh. You don't want to remember? Fine. You can die like that.
What? She's attacking her owner now? Is it a threat to pressure her? No, this is a shadow we're dealing with after all. There's no knowing what it will
Stop
do.
it!
What's this? Why are you protecting her? It's her fault you all had to fight each other, you know.
With that, she turns to the other self and looks down at her with disdain in her eyes.
You want the everyday boys and girls to experience what you had to go through, right? That's why we're in a school having a fighting tournament. That ain't! My home was a horrible place. They made us fight and kill each other just to collect combat data. It hurts so much, but no one understands. How can I make them see? I know. I'll force friends to fight each other. Maybe then they'll understand. No. I wanna make them understand. That ain't true. That's not what I want. Oh, yeah? Then let me take over from here. I'll destroy everyone who pretends to understand. Just like you did before. Stop! I've had enough!
Labrys!
No! You're not me!
There we go.
You said it! You finally said it! The power, I can feel it building!
A sinister aura surges from the shadow. Even the surroundings begin to warp with its energy. Yep.
Yes! The power!
In an instant, the area becomes dominated by piercing red light. The view from beyond the window has changed completely. Hear Rise-san gasp behind me. I don't know what this place is modeled after, but I get the sense that someone carved open a living creature's stomach. It's a reflection of Labrys' heart, the suffering she carries. The shadow's golden eyes stand out even more in the dusky redness, focusing on me. Change my mindset. There's only one thing to do here, just as my friends did for me.
Rise-san, you watch Labrys and Teddy.
I got him. Good luck, Nato-kun.
Yes, I'll save her.
I'll finish it here. Like, I shouldn't even be here, but now that I've got involved, I'm gonna go all out.
Final. Fight!
Okay. Now you there you are. Okay. Okay.
Listen now.
There. Okay.
I really am still trying to do the Hama and Muda, but I can't remember the inputs for those. Giant creature behind the Damn it. I managed to defeat her. Can I... how do I backlog? Like giant shadow behind the shadow. The giant creature behind the shadow. I'd begun to think of it as a part of the shadow itself. The giant creature behind the shadow, I'd begun to think of it as part of the shadow itself, vanished with a loud roar. I managed to defeat her. Alright. She shows no further signs of resistance. Cautiously, I turn around and walk to Labrys, who is still sitting on the floor being held up by Rise-san. Seems Teddy has also regained consciousness. He had broken into a sweat, flustering as he stands next to Rise-san.
Are you alright?
Labrys has a melancholy look on her face as she hangs her head. She's so human-like. The sheer authenticity of that expression makes the thought appear in my mind.
I didn't have the chance to introduce myself. I'm Naoto Shirogane. You're Labrys. Is that correct?
She raises her head, but neither confirms nor denies it. She just quietly stares at her double across the room. Machine given the ability to summon a persona. Persona ability was the primary objective in her creation. The fact that she also developed a heart comes as a byproduct. How much suffering did she have to go through, having been treated like an object for so long? It isn't easy to imagine.
I can't claim to understand your pain. It was only today that I learned you existed, to say nothing of the weapons program from which you sprung. But there is one thing I do understand.
I kneel and look Labrys in the eyes.
Look carefully at me. Do I seem like a man or a woman to you?
What do you mean?
You and I are alike. There is such a gulf between what we yearn to be and what we are, that we have trouble accepting our true nature.
Our true nature?
Just as I cannot break the glass ceiling of my profession, you cannot become human. That is the painful truth. But if we were able to change, would that truly bring us happiness? I feel there is something only you or I can offer, because of who we really are.
There's something a machine like me can offer? Even if there is something like that, there's no place I belong.
That's not true. I'm not human either, but I work at Jeunesse. The part-time ladies give me sweets sometimes and everything.
The heart is always lacking something. It may be that you and I will be troubled by this same thing for the rest of our lives. But please don't forget that you're not alone anymore.
I'm not alone.
I nod strongly to Labrys as she looks up at me. I repeat it for emphasis.
Don't worry. You're not alone.
That's right. I'll stick to you like glue.
Shoot fly, don't bother me.
And it won't be just us. I'm sure you'll make lots of friends with everyone in town.
Really? A machine? Like me?
We nod. Labrys stands up and approaches her shadow.
They said it's okay to be me. Doesn't that make you happy too?
She takes the shadow's hand as it droops, its head listlessly.
I'm so sorry I locked you up inside me for all that time. But we'll be okay now. I'm not alone. And you're not either, right?
Here we go. Accepting your true self.
I'm sorry I ignored you all this time. I was the one who left you all alone.
Yes.
No. You are me, after all.
Ariadne.
This is my persona.
Labrys, there are some people from the Kirijo Group here looking for you.
I wonder if they'll stick me back in that box again. Of course they will. After all, I caused a lot of trouble. What else are they gonna do?
I can't say anything about that for certain, but you should talk with them. It's your right to be where you belong.
Yeah, you're right.
At that moment, I hear several sets of footsteps approaching from outside. Dan and take a fighting pose for an instant, but relax when I hear familiar voices. I ease up and smile.
Is everyone all right?
Whoa, Senpai! You're back from the city already?
Never mind him, Kanji-kun. What about you? What have you been doing all this time?
Shadow Host was defeated. The invisible walls must have disappeared. The place is familiar to all of us. The wall's gone, finding each other is a piece of cake.
Yo, Naoto. Guess you made the big meetup after all, huh? I swear, we're tied together by fate or something. Actually, is that the real you, Teddy?
You're so blind sometimes, Yosuke.
Rise-chan, I'm so glad you're safe.
Senpai, you're all here.
Kirijo-san's group comes in behind Senpai and the others. The room instantly falls silent. Perhaps some of the others had encountered them during a match before I did, but in general, everyone was shocked to see them. Kirijo-san waits between all of us and walks directly towards Labrys.
You must be Labrys.
All of us hold our breath at Kirijo-san's dignified voice.
I'm Mitsuru Kirijo. You may have heard already, but I came to collect you.
Collect? That, Labrys takes a step back. My hand on her shoulder to comfort her. She looks at me and I nod. Human, robot, anyone, doesn't change anything. But no matter who you are, there are things that you have to carry out through your own actions, using your own words.
I don't want to go back in that box. Or to that lab.
As Labrys managed to say, a voice speaks up from behind Kirijo-san.
Mitsuru-san, I'd like to ask that you consider her request. Labrys's, my sister's abilities, will surely be useful to us. Please, can't we enlist her on a trial basis and see what happens?
Sister? Surprised by that unfamiliar appellation, Labrys looks towards the speaker.
You're a robot too.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Aegis, the 7th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon. I'm your successor, sister.
We're... sisters?
She answered Labrys with a smile. Amazing, her tone, her expressions are also human.
I'd like to third their request. I'm well aware that I'm in no place to make demands on you, but...
Kirijo-san gave a wry smile after a third objection.
I'm starting to feel like the bad guy. There's no need to worry. I wasn't thinking of sealing you away again.
Really?
You've awakened to your persona and gained control over it. True. I don't know for sure that the danger is past, but I don't feel that you need to be sealed off from humanity, particularly since it's obvious that you have a heart. Kirijo-san.
Labby-chan doesn't need to be all alone anywhere? Yay!
Naoto, sorry to interrupt, but who are these people?
They kinda look like a bunch of freaks.
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, one of them's not even human.
I guess she's a robot?
Huh? Wait a sec. Kirijo? As in the Kirijo Group? Wait, what? What's going on here?
All my friends begin to look at me, the only one who knows everything. Where should I start? More importantly, how much should I disclose? Either way, it looks like it's going to be a long explanation. First though, I suggest that we change locations. It's important to share information, but it's imperative that we all get out of here safely. So, back to the lobby on the rooftop. Teddy led us to the roof, but when he opens the door, we find ourselves in a place that looks nothing like the real thing. Everyone besides Teddy starts in surprise. Outside the door is a space that resembles a TV studio. That's right, it's the place that we used as an entrance lobby to the TV world last year. It disappeared once, but it must have reappeared when Labrys entered this world and created the school here. Others told me that the Midnight Channel aired again. Whoever watched the broadcast must have associated with last year's airings. That explains why it looks exactly the same. Anyway, it looks like we'll be able to exit here in one piece. As I sigh in relief, Kirijo-san turns to us.
I should introduce myself to the rest of you.
Please do.
I am Mitsuru Kirijo. I cannot tell you who I am affiliated with or my position, but I bear all responsibility for Labrys. This case, the whole disturbance was mainly due to us. I'm very sorry for putting you in such danger.
Kirijo-san sums up the sequence of events. Labrys' entry into this world was the cause of it all. She and the others came here after her.
How do you know Mitsuru-san, Naoto-kun?
That's... well...
Good
Shirogane
job.
was working with us. Since it was our first time in this world, he helped us safely reach Labrys.
So, the job you had was to bring Mitsuru-san and the others here?
Huh? Well,
That wasn't it,
that
but-
was basically it. I'm sorry, but there are some things he cannot disclose. I ask for your understanding in that regard.
Sure, detective stuff. I getcha. That's pretty cool.
Sanada-san, Aiga-san don't say a word, even after Kirijo-san's explanation. Not completely a lie, but still. It's not really what it was meant to do, but I'll just go with it. I can't really disclose much either. I shrug and sigh softly. And now that she sees I'm not denying any part of her less than vague explanation, I might as well be admitting that my investigation positions me against her.
I really am no match for her.
Well then, let's all go home.
Happy.
Alrighty, attention please. The trip doesn't end until we get out of the TV.
Dude, you really gave us a scare. And this isn't the first time either. Well, at least it ended well.
You know, I understand about Rise-chan and Teddy, but why did Kanji-kun go missing again?
Huh? Oh, well, because,
You needed a change of pace, no?
What?
Did I misspeak? You said something like, sometimes a man just wants to be alone inside a TV.
As if.
Alto, you bastard! Why'd you have to tell him that?
Labrys slaps out our small talk. Looking at her, I begin to feel this episode wasn't so bad after all. Cue credits. But suddenly, Labrys' mouth disappears and her body feels in an unnatural position.
Labrys?
Here we go. Labrys does not answer me. Sonata shouts a warning.
Get away from her!
Everyone jumps back confused. Kanji-kun wasn't even sure what he was supposed to be backing away from at first. Soon though, we all stand around her in a ring. Labrys stands in the center, completely motionless.
What's going on?
I don't know. I can only tell that she's probably being controlled from outside.
Controlled? As we all watch her confused and nervous, Labrys' right hand slowly begins to move. Reaches around her back to her thrusters, or rather to the axe. Labrys' eyes are staring blankly into space, but suddenly glance at me.
Shirogane!
When it comes to the same instant as the attack, feel the wind of the axe's passage and bend backwards to dodge the blow. If she'd gone after anyone else, things might not have been so fortunate. I'm the only one who's actually seen that attack before. But Labrys follows up with something different. Ariadne, her persona. I gulp in spite of myself. That white, elegant silhouette behind Labrys. I'd almost forgotten. Labrys now has the power of a persona. Finding her won't be as easy as it was before.
Labrys, why? Never mind, it can wait.
So this time, the person didn't even say anything. Labrys, Shadow Labrys. Not to be confused with Shadow Labrys.
Final.
Yes, in this game, that makes perfect sense.
Fight.
I'm a hit!
Okay, I'm looking it up. Hold up. Sponge is good. And what's the red? Red and orange. Fine.
There! I'm a hit continuing! Okay.
Oh, let me move. There we go. Avoid all you want. They can help you. I don't think I keep trying to spend time trying to use the insta-kills. Well, by the way, the insta-kills don't actually work until the skull next to the opponent reaches 0. I emerge victorious. I don't have enough energy remaining to run up to her. Breathe heavily and look at her. Aige-san runs towards Labrys in my place.
Sister, are you all right?
Suddenly, an uncanny voice echoes throughout the studio. Oh, there we go.
My, to think she'd fall so easily.
Actually, it sounds different. One glances around, trying to find where it
I
came
hope
from.
that she'd provide more entertainment. What a disappointment.
Why does it sound like Naoto? As soon as the sentence is complete, all eyes turn towards me. Oh my. Cannot blame them. After all, the voice was mine. They're using Naoto's voice now? That center of the ring twists and squirms like gel. Face forms on its surface, and it hardens to limbs and a human-like body. It stands up. Thing standing before us was, again, me. No, just something taking my shape.
Naoto-kun's shadow? Why?
Oh boy, we're not doing this again, are we?
I thought you disappeared.
Cannot stop myself from being filled with anxiety. Keep my voice calm as I ask it a
Who
question.
are you? Once you've gained your persona, you're not supposed to see your shadow again. That's what you thought, isn't it? Did you really think I had gone away? Well, too bad. Man cannot let go so easily of his weakness. I'm always with you.
No, this can't be happening.
Friends become even more disturbed. Certainly had cause to worry. Could the same thing happen to them? Same thing happen to them? Will it? I, however, did not stir. Instead, I simply understood. I, however, did not stir. Instead, I suddenly understood what had happened. Thing's objective was clearly to cause us panic.
Enough farce. You are not my shadow.
I walked towards this copy of me, the real enemy.
I know that for 2 reasons. First, I was able to use my persona in the battle just now. One's persona and shadow are 2 sides of a coin. If you are my shadow, my persona should have been unusable. Second, you took control of Labrys just now. That's an unusual power far beyond the capabilities of a human like myself. I'm sorry to say you've dug yourself a deeper hole by showing off that ability. With a power like that, you could drive a man to extreme acts, which was the missing piece in this case.
You mean the hijacking wasn't just the work of a highly motivated crew. Rather, whoever we're talking to now was...
It was Labrys' dark wish that we fight each other. But what if someone knew beforehand that that would happen? Labrys has a heart, but she's also a machine. Unlike humans, her memories can be tampered with. By using Labrys, you thought you could orchestrate the disturbance her shadow would create in this world. Your objective is, as you just said, to gather persona users, have them fight, disrupt their hearts, and steal their personas. That's why you're appearing in the form of my shadow right now, to confuse me. You're the real puppet master behind this case. I'm surprised. Very insightful of you, Naoto Shirogane. Quite impressive work. I didn't expect you to fight back this fiercely. Sadly, it seems things won't be going according to plan this time. But I'll make use of what tools I have to the very end. This
It's gonna be
is our
another
last
battle.
chance.
Naoto against her shadow.
More like a marvelous entertainment. Now stand, my puppet.
Labrys staggers to her feet. There's no doubt now, this is the person controlling Labrys. And she has yet to break free from the
Poor
spell.
thing. It's all worn out because of you. It shouldn't have much strength left to fight, but unless you destroy it, it will keep rising up and attacking you all. What will you do?
Labrys pointed her axe at me for the third time. Rather than caution, I felt sympathy. Forced killing of comrades against one's will. I see now. This is the past her shadow had talked about.
Shirogane, you need to stand back!
Kirijo-san stepped in front of
Wait,
me.
if we all attack her, we may end up destroying Labrys. But she's just under its control. If we can release her, she should stop attacking.
Glance over at Rise-san.
Is that possible? All right, I'll give it a try.
Perhaps Rise-san's persona is powerful enough to do it. I think it's worth trying. However,
It's no use. What is that thing? It's not a shadow. It's way too strong.
I had a feeling things wouldn't be so easy. Out of options, Kirijo-san signals Aiga-san with a troubled look in her face.
Aigus, prepare for the worst.
Aiga-san opens her eyes in shock. Look of astonishment and not the good kind. She quickly regains her composure and begins readying her weapons. Slowly aims them at Labrys. Realizing what was happening, Rise-san hastily interjects.
No, wait, let me try again.
Aiga-san pays her no heed. Labrys is in her sights. Looks calm, but hurts just to see her expression. It's only natural. She called Labrys her sister.
Good. Now suffer. Relinquish your personas.
At that very moment, Kirijo-san suddenly looks up. She closed her eyes. She gathers her strength she had when she tried to establish a line of communication with her own persona. But who is she trying to reach?
I see. Now!
Who is she talking to? There's someone who appeared beside us? Said Kirijo-san in bewilderment. It happens. Without warning, Labrys freezes in place. The missing aura that she had been giving off dissipates in an instant.
What?
First time, I can hear panic in the enemy's voice. Reading the power of the enemy, Labrys' body collapses to the ground. The sound of weapons fold back into her body, and she runs to Labrys as if all her pent-up emotions were exploding behind her like a rocket.
What the heck was that?
I don't know. I was getting desperate too. It seemed like something far away stepped in.
This can't be! It's just as we thought. The enemy is taking on your appearance and has no connection to you. Feel free to cut loose.
Kirijo-san's voice is full of confidence. I don't know what she did, but when she speaks so confidently, it's impossible to doubt her. Look at the enemy again. My face, but with a different expression.
There's something I want to ask before I fight. What now? Why did you choose me? Of all the persona users here, why did you use my face?
Is that all? Of course I chose you. You were the most unstable of the lot. Never quite sure whether to call yourself a man or a woman. Your indecisiveness made you the perfect prey.
I clench my fist but keep my anger in check. After a moment, I nonchalantly tip my hat back on my head.
There's actually something I've been curious to know all this time. Last year, when my real shadow went berserk, I was forced to the sidelines. It left me wondering whether I could have overcome that other me on my own. This is the perfect chance to find out. I won't hold back an inch.
Here we go. Naoto and Shadow Naoto. Fake Shadow Naoto.
Finally. Fight!
Persona, hold back! Go! Do it!
You got over being muted right.
No way! Hit!
There we go. Now fuck off, why don't you? Enemy staggers and falls to her knees, her face, or rather mine, writhing in agony.
You did it! You're so cool now, Chan!
I can't believe you could go that nuts on something that looked like you.
It may have taken my shape, but it wasn't me. I had no reason to relent.
I fully believe what I said, but Kanjika doesn't seem satisfied for some reason. Kirijo-san looks down at the enemy.
You'll be coming with us. There are some things we still want to ask you.
This is fine with me. There were many twists and turns along the way, but I'm not displeased with the results. It was good enough for this time that I confirmed you have the power to meet my expectations.
This time,
This is only a temporary form. I doubted there'd be any meaning in changing my appearance, but sure enough, it made for a very enjoyable game. I will see you in another guise next time. Just wait until then.
Enemy laughs and begins to fade away.
Wait!
Of course the enemy simply disappears. Of course the enemy simply disappears in thin air. Who was she? What's her objective, trying to separate us from our personas? Fortunately, I was not able to get to the core of the matter. But still, next time, huh?
Hell no! Don't you dare come back again!
Yeah, what he said!
Seriously, that was one sick bastard.
Copying Now-chan was going too far! Bad enough that it was in violation of my image rights, taking my form like that!
I wonder if
Clearly
this
you
is the
can't
start
talk.
of something bigger.
Yeah, I don't think we should let our guard down.
Everyone's face clouds with anxiety. No one could have imagined that we would run to some bigger threat like this. The enemy planning to cause another incident like this again? We're going to get more humiliating catchphrases. Killjoy Detective. Like, really that bad? Here's a Kirijo-san has worries of her
My
own.
analysis didn't make it in time, but that was...
It's hard to believe. Then again,
Strong look in her eyes, she sprouts her fears and comes to us to be discussed who the mastermind could be.
in any case, you don't have to worry about it. It's our responsibility from here on out.
But it was obviously targeting us. We can't shrug and go on our way after that.
He's correct. Given that it's taken an interest in us, we must arm ourselves against it.
Of course, you should be aware that the enemy is out there, but there is no need to abandon your lives to pursue it. We will do our best to ensure that no harm comes to you. That is, after all, our duty.
I can sense that she is completely sincere. We all trade glances. We eventually concede with our leader's opinion. We'll agree to Kirijo-san's offer. There's some lingering regrets, but we have little choice for now. Seeing that everything is settled, Teddy butts in and strikes a strange pose. We turn to look at him, and with a grin of pride, he kicks at the floor with his heel. That is his usual little dance for summoning the exit TV to get us out of the TV world. Just on group, Kirijo-san's group is obviously surprised, and they look pointedly at the TV.
What are you doing with this ancient TV? Hang on, where'd you even get this?
It's a teddy vision! You can get out from here!
This TV is our escape route? Can we really fit inside?
Ooh, are you a little too front-loaded to fit? In that case, I wouldn't mind helping you squeeze through!
You're even worse than before, you know that?
We all pass through Taste TV and make it back to the real world. Of course, Kirijo-san's a bit flustered to find herself in the middle of a department store. Labrys looks slightly lonely, but she follows Kirijo-san by her own free will. Shouldn't be anything to worry about. Remembering Aiga-san's gentle smile, I know that they'll make sure Labrys is alright. And so, the incident came to a close. Here we go. The following day, May 4th, Kirijo-san had stayed the night pursuing a follow-up investigation and is going back to the city today. We learned that from none other than Labrys, who had called us all when wanting to say goodbye in person. Of course, we were obliged to see them off. At an intersection inside the shopping district, we gathered by that oh-so-familiar limousine and exchanged parting words with Labrys.
I'm really sorry for causing you guys so much trouble.
What are you saying? I had a blast meeting you, Labby-chan!
Likewise, but I can't believe you didn't notice at all that Kirijo-san was searching high and low for you. You're so thick.
That is mysterious. I wouldn't hesitate to answer the call of such a beautiful woman. It must have been because I was having so much fun talking with Labby-chan.
She never gives it a rest. So, what are you gonna do now, Labrys?
If you need help, we don't mind sheltering you. Yukiko's house is a great hideout.
Thanks. But I'm planning on working with Mitsuru-san. We're gonna catch the scumbag who tried to use you guys. This time, it'll be me that's got your backs.
Sounds promising.
It sounds as though you found a place where you belong then.
Sure enough.
Come back anytime to hang out, okay? We'll be here for you.
Okay. Thanks, you guys.
Labrys' expression is radiant. I turn around to see Kirijo-san and the others watch from inside the car with gentle smiles. I leave the circle gathered around Labrys and approach Kirijo-san. There's something I have to confide in her after all this time.
I confess, I had known about the existence of the Shadow Operatives from the start.
As I thought. Well, considering what we've both been through, there's no need to keep it hidden from you anymore.
Why are you taking the lead even if it risks your life? A woman in your position needn't.
A great many people were hurt because of mistakes the Kirijo Group made in the past. I won't let it happen again. To leave behind nothing that could jeopardize the future. That's my mission. More than that, it's a vow I made.
And she'll stick to it. I feel like she's speaking to someone else, someone who's not here to hear her. She then nods to me. Sincerity in her eyes is all the confirmation I need. In my line of business, you rarely come across... In my line of business, you rarely come across people who actually speak what they mean. People I would call noble. She's one of the few. Her eyes showed trust in me, and that makes me proud to know her.
You've been a real help. About the next step, though, I doubt you'll back down that easily.
Who knows? It's not my decision to make.
I gave a casual reply, and Kirijo-san shakes her head with a smile.
I understand that nothing I say can dissuade you, but I want you to be cautious.
Her expression turned serious. This is likely to be a personal warning about the investigation I've been conducting on her.
Of course, there are those within the Kirijo Group who don't think as I do. There are no doubt a lot of dark secrets to be unearthed. The current Kirijo Group has drifted away from the family businesses. I am only the founding family's daughter, not the strongest position.
What an odd warning. It's as if you're showing compassion to your enemy. Well, I too personally hope you find success. You be careful too, Kirijo-san.
Just call me Mitsuru.
Of course, Mitsuru-san. Well, until next time.
The car soon departs in the direction of the highway. There we go. We watch as Labrys waves from the window, believing that one day we'll meet again. Seeing them off, we head to the food court at Junes. It's been a bit delayed, but it's time for Yu-senpai's welcome back party. Those last few days have been full of trouble, but I can't help but feel that some sort of fate has brought us together in the end. A lot less awkward than how Yosuke said it. Soon the topic at hand changes to what Yu-senpai had said. We should reform the investigation team. Just as Mitsuru-san had predicted, it was the only natural reaction to what we had been through. Not a single one of us objects to the idea, and we all talk about our plans to continue. Wait. Okay, I didn't really understand a lot if this was the context, I didn't really understand it when Naoto was talking to Mitsuru. But does that mean like Mitsuru already had the feeling that they weren't gonna back down anyways, and she's just letting it go because she knows they mean well and that they're strong enough to protect themselves even from something like this? Well, I mean, after this, we only have all the Persona 3 characters left, so being the Shadow Operatives and then Elizabeth after we do them. So yeah, I guess we'll see what this is all about. By the time we split up and I arrived home, it was close to midnight. But I sat at my desk and turned on my computer so that I may compile my report on the investigation.
What follows are my impressions of the organization called the Shadow Operatives, as well as their leader, Mitsuru Kirijo. As a member of the Kirijo Group's founding family, Mitsuru Kirijo strongly wishes for the corporation's stigma to be cleared. Yet the Shadow Operatives are not ultimately a means for her to clear this stigma. Her first priority is to protect and save those who are at risk. The way she handled the lost cargo in this case made that much clear. Though discarding it would have been more advantageous and it would have been simple to destroy in secret, she chose not to do so. She sees the restoration of the family honor as a byproduct of her true mission. I will continue my secret investigation. It is apparent that the Kirijo Group still harbors many dark secrets. Yet I must note that no matter how their internal affairs are worth watching, we need not trouble ourselves overseeing Shadow Operatives. Mitsuru Kirijo does not shrink from the responsibilities she bears. We will never gain leverage over her based on her family's sins. Even if the true culprit behind this matter has ties to the Kirijo Group, she will...
I stopped typing and delete the last sentence.
No, this report is no place for conjecture. I suspect this is only the beginning.
Friendship and a rivalry. Good luck, Naoto.